this is Gina. Today I'm going to show you how to make a set of really easy, really fast moving beach earrings. So these are really cute. You do not have to have the charm on them. You can make the earring without it and it's just as cute. But I thought with the charm over the top, it's just adorable. I am using some of the beads and components from the Deep Sea Treasures treasure bag, or Deep Sea Jewels treasure bag, excuse me. But this pattern works with all kinds of different shapes and sizes of beads. So give it a try and let's go ahead and see what it takes to make this project. Okay, for this project today, we will be using some of the beads from the Deep Sea Jewels treasure bag. However, as I've said before, just find something similar in shape and size and you can do this tutorial. So what we are going to be using is a 7 by 4.5 millimeter column bead. This is baked Crackle glass in its turquoise color. Then we were going to be using some Toho seed beads. I've got two colors in 8/0, and one is the opaque turquoise, the other is frosted white. And then we have some 11/0s, or actually 15/0s, and 11/0s in galvanized permanent finish aluminum. So we will be using 11/0, 15/0, and two colors of 8/0s. Then from the treasure bag, I have two of these little charms. You can make these earrings with or without a charm. They're just as cute without. So I'm going to show you how to put it on, but I will also show you at the point you can quit if you don't want to put a charm on. And then we're going to need two ear wires, of course. We will also need some Nanofil or Fireline, 6-pound Fireline. I'm going to use 10-pound Nanofil, and a size 12 beading needle. And you're going to put about an arm's length of thread onto your needle this time. So measure from like your collarbone, shoulder area to the tip of your fingers of one arm, and that should be enough thread for each earring individually. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, to start this project, you're going to pick up one of your column beads, and then you're going to pick up a 11/0, frosted white 8/0, and then an 11/0, and then a column bead, and you're going to repeat that. So we'll pick up an 11/0, an 8/0 in white, and then an 11/0. We're again going to pick up a column bead, and then an 11/0, a frosted white, and an 11/0, and another column bead. Then we will pick up one more set of 11/0, 8/0, 11/0. So what you will have on your thread is 4 column beads divided by 11/0, 8/0, 11/0. Start with the column bead, end with your series of seed beads, just like that. Then bring it to the end of your thread. You don't have to leave a long tail, but you need enough to tie a knot with. We're going to sew through first, and then we're going to tie a knot. So go ahead from the tail side and go ahead and go through your first column bead and pull your tail and your working thread so that your beads form a circle like this. And then we're going to sew through all of them. So I'm just going to hold on to it, and I'm just going to start sewing through. And it's going to loosen up and do weird things. Just don't pull really tight as you go through, or you'll pull your thread out of the beads. So just go through and don't miss any of the beads. Continue going around. Once we get to where our working thread and our tail thread are right next to each other, we will tie a knot. So here I am, right there. I'm going to pick up my piece. I'm going to pull on both threads a little bit, and then I am just going to tie a surgeon's knot. So I'm going to take the tail and go through the loop that I created by crossing the tail thread and the working thread, and then just go through it twice with the tail. Pull it down, and this is what you should have. Now, we're going to sew up through the 11-0, 8-0, 11-0 combination that we're right next to, like this, and then through the column bead, but not through the 11-0s on the other side. So just go through the next column bead right there and exit. Then you're going to pick up an 8-0 in your other color. So I'm going to use turquoise. And I'm just going to go directly from this column bead to this column bead, placing the 8-0 inside of the seed bead combination. So I'm going through the column bead and exiting. And I'm going to pull this down. And then I'm going to make sure that it pops down between the beads nice and securely, and you don't see any thread, and it pulls this together into more of a diamond shape. Then we're coming out of this column here, pick up another 8-0, go into the next column, avoiding the seed beads on the other side, just like this, and pull your needle through. Pull it down and pull on the thread until you can pop that down in between the beads nice and neatly. Now I'm going to cut this tail down because it's just getting in my way. So I'm going to cut it down, and then so that it doesn't scoot back through, I'm just going to gently bring this down a little, just like that. Now I am going to grab another of my turquoise 8-0s. I'm coming out of this column bead. I'm going to go into this column bead right here. Again, avoid the beads on the other side of the column bead. And pull your turquoise bead, or whatever color you're using, of course, down, pull on the thread, make sure it pops in there nice and neatly, just like that. And then we are going to do that one more time. So we're coming out of this one, we're going to go into this one, and exit the column bead here. If I can, there we go. At this point, you could call this done. This is a pretty little earring. You could go up through the 11-0 and 8-0 and just attach your ear wire with a few seed beads up on this 8-0 seed bead. But I want to put a little bit more of an embellishment on it because I want to have my little shell dangle. So what I'm going to do, my charm dangle. So what I'm going to do is I am now going to use two 15-0 seed beads. So I'll pick up two 15-0s. I'm coming out of the column bead. Geez, I'm going to flip these 15-0s all over the place. And then an 11-0, and then an 8-0. Now you can see I'm coming out of the column bead. I'm going to drop these down. And I have lost my needle, so give me just a second. It seems like lately I just pull my needle off my thread all the time. Drives me crazy. Okay, so we'll rethread it here. So we've got two 15-0s, an 11-0, and an 8-0. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold. I apologize. I'm then going to go through the loop on my little charm here. And then I'm going to go back up through just the 8-0 right here. Get you in really close so you can see. And I'm just going to hold on to that 8-0 and pull this thread through until I can bring the charm right up to that 8-0, just like that. Sorry about that. Maybe we should back off a little. Now, I want to also go up through the 11-0 seed bead. So I've gone up through the 8-0. Now I'm going to go up through just the 11-0, and don't go through the 15-0s behind it, just the 11-0. And I'm going to pull this through. And then I'm going to pick up two 15-0 seed beads. onto my needle, and I'm going to go down into the column bead on the other side opposite from which we attached. So we went through this one, attached, now we're going to go through this one. And just the column bead. Try to avoid the beads on the other side. And pull it through. Okay, so once you get it through, this should lay like this. Now, I guess you could have gone through the other beads as you come through, because we're going to sew all the way around and come back out of the column bead here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the 11-0 and 8-0, and then the 11-0 and column bead, and the 11-0 on the other side here too, if I can get it. And then the 8-0. So we're just going through all of the beads on the outside here. Sewing around the entire piece. Okay, now I'm going to go up through this column bead right here and exit, and I don't want to go through anything else, just the column bead. And I'm going to exit it the best I can here. I've got so many beads on the other side that I just have to manipulate it until I can get just through the column bead here. Now we're coming through, and we're going to pick up 7 15-0 seed beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, come here, and 7. So I have a 7 on my needle now, and I'm going to bring it down to my piece. I'm just going to skip over this entire section here and go into the column bead here. So I'm going right over the top of these seed beads, and I'm going to go into this column bead, and you can go ahead and go through the beads on the other side too. So I'm exiting that 8-0. I'm going to pull this up so that it makes a loop over the top here. And then I am going to go into the 11-0 and 8-0 and 11-0 here, and down between this 8-0 and 11-0 I'm just going to go in between the beads and tie a little knot. So make a little loop as you pull your thread through, go through the loop, and then guide that loop down between the beads so that you tie a knot on the thread bridge between the beads. Then I'm just going to go up into a couple more beads and exit wherever I can here. So I'm exiting here, and I'm going to cut this off. And I am going to burn that down. And then I'm going to move this loop up. And attach my ear wire to it. Now, let me see what I did. Okay, so let's put this on and see how it hangs. So I'm just opening the loop on my ear wire. I'm going to put it on this little loop that I made with my seed beads, and then I'm going to close the ear wire, and I have got a cute little earring just like that. want to see if it's going to hang correctly. And it looks like it's going to hang just fine. So go ahead and make another one, and I'll be back and show you my set, and we'll call it good. Okay, so here's the set, and I think they turned out really, really cute. And of course, like I said, you do not have to put the charm on. You can just do the bottom portion too. You can do this with all different sizes and shapes of beads. This particular pattern works pretty good. I like to have an elongated type bead here, but you could use several different shapes that are longer, and this usually turns out really, really cute. If you're not going to put the charm in the middle, you could do it with round beads or rondelles too. It just gives a little bit different shape, and you don't have as much room in the middle, but I think you can always overlap a charm on most anything, and this turned out really cute. So anyway, that's our project for today. If you liked it, please consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so that we can do more projects together. Okay then, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.